Well, Operation Protective Edge is going full throttle into Gaza. That's the Israeli invasion into Gaza as a result of the thousands of missiles and rockets and mortars that have come out of Gaza into Israel. Just a reminder of some of the facts that are regarding this, and these are available on the internet. More than 1,660 rockets have been fired by Iran-backed Hamas from Gaza into Israel since July 8th, placing the lives of more than 6 million Israelis at risk. Israeli families have been forced into shelters, their kids kept from the summer camps, and schools closed. On the other hand, the IDF, Israel Defense Forces, is a moral military without a peer. Yes, it is. A moral military without a peer. It does not aspire to harm any innocent person. Israel and Israelis yearn for the day when they can live in peace and quiet side by side with their Palestinian neighbors. Hamas, however, intentionally acts to increase the harm to its own civilian population by using them as human shields, using their own people as human shields, if you can fathom that. Hamas actively calls on Gazans to go onto roofs after Israeli warnings are sent, and its Ministry of Interior has ordered them not to evacuate targeted homes. Hamas, by using its civilian population as human shields and by targeting Israeli civilians, bear full responsibility for casualties on both sides. They bear full responsibility for casualties on both sides. Yes, indeed. Going on, Hamas terrorists violating international law. By the way, they have all said this past week, international law doesn't apply to them. They pay no attention to international law. That's a statement from Hamas. Hamas terrorists violating international law do not care about Israeli citizens nor the safety of the Palestinian people. Hamas has positioned rocket launchers, weapons stores, leadership facilities, command and control centers, communication facilities, and other terrorist infrastructures among the civilian population of Gaza. The sites, listen to this, the sites of actual rocket launchers are deliberately located near or under homes, schools, hospitals, and mosques, leaving Palestinian civilians deliberately exposed to grave danger. Since the beginning of Operation Protective Edge, Hamas has fired at least 100 rockets from Gaza that have landed within their own territory. And so it goes. And where it's probably headed is toward a ceasefire. I mentioned this in our Friday e-newsletter this past week, but I want to say it again. Of all the wars that Israel has been involved in since 1948, every one of them has ended in an imposed ceasefire. Now, a ceasefire proves absolutely nothing. What happens is the Arabs will start the fight, Palestinians in this case, these are Arabs, start the fight, they get their nose bloodied, and then they call for a ceasefire. And Israel abides by it, considers it, imposes it. It's being imposed, actually. The UN, the voices of the opinions of the world leaders call for that. Only a clear and unequivocal defeat of Hamas jihadists can bring any hope for a guarded normalcy for Israel. They have to be defeated. Forget the ceasefire. They have to be defeated. Their command structure, infrastructure has to be destroyed. Hamas has to cease. And Israel has the capacity and they have the moral imperative to do exactly that. I'm reminded of the passage in Psalm 81 where Yahweh says this, "If my people would but listen to me, if my people would but listen to me, if Israel would follow my ways, how quickly would I subdue their enemies and turn my hand against their foes. Those who hate Yahweh would cringe before him, and their punishment would last forever. If you would, but you, the Jew, But you would feed with the finest of wheat, be fed with the finest of wheat, and with honey from the rock I would satisfy you. That's God's promise. The integrity of God, once again, stands on that promise as much as any of the promises that He's made. What's the condition? If my people would but listen to me. That's the answer. Till next week, Od Ki Yavo Shiloh, or until Messiah comes, Yivareka Yahweh. God bless you.